Hi there, it's CJ Miller. I am in Shreveport, Louisiana. I'm across the Red River from beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana. And um, so I'm walking in front of the casino district on the Shreveport side. There's about 7 casinos down here between Bossier and Shreveport. Uh, on the river, like and then there's other, if you're a gamer, that's great. I'm a low stakes gamer. Like if I go in, it's like as soon as if I'm up by 25 cents, 50 cents or whatever, I'm like, peace out. I'm one of those. Like I step inside the actual casino part with the intent to play maybe once a year. But so if we go, you'll probably still be playing like a whole bunch of money, and I'll be like just kind of sitting in a chair in the background, waiting patiently for you to hurry up. Let's see. Oh, chains, man. So I want to walk over and check out the river. There's a chain here, so I just step over. If I had a running start, I actually could just jump over that. It wasn't that high up. The man my age jumping hurdles, but I can do that. One of the things is I walk and I make these videos because they kind of help encourage me to stick with my diet plan, and they help me stick with my physical portion of my my requisite, my requirement, which is to be in motion, basically. uh, and so that's cool. Whatever helps, right? uh, and I like coming down here and looking at the peaceful and serenity and stuff like that, and whatever. Like sometimes it's beautiful, and sometimes it's exciting. It depends upon my mood. you know you get out of life what you put into it, and a big part of that is self-care and self-advocacy, and also reaching out and forming communal alliance with other people, not just being an island under oneself. And it's kind of cool because, my best friend is doing a keto diet. And then my sister is obviously dieting. She just had a bypass. She's home now. She's doing really great for anyone who's kept up with that. And people are, happy with their progress. So that's good. So, but yeah. I don't talk too much about those things, other people, because that's their story to tell. So I'll only talk about, just the little things that, my little area that I brush up against the lives of other people. That's kind of okay, kind of a shared space. I don't mind talking about that. But okay, it's a little dark. I want to kind of get where there's some light. If I'm going to talk about stuff, I love to walk downtown. It's really important to do some physical stuff. What I'll do, I do this before I get ready to wrap up for the evening. Uh, you know, I'll take a walk from one end of downtown to the other, maybe come down by the river, depending upon, spend a little time walking around. It helps me spend some time before midnight, so I'm not at home snacking when I should not be snacking. And then when I do get home, uh, and if it's time to cook, sometimes I keep food around like a couple of days, like in the fridge, like keto diet friendly food. I keep that ready to go throughout the day. And then when it's time to cook, I try to cook later in the evening because close to when it's time to start my keto over. Today, I did have some rye bread at lunch, but it was a small lunch, like basically one sandwich. It didn't really ruin me. Uh, Maybe tops that would have been 30 grams because it was really thin. I sliced the bread really thin. I still can't believe I bought that bread. It looked good in the package. It tastes good. It was really good, but almost, I think there's something maybe unprofessional about a bread machine. You know what I mean? Uh, oh well, live and learn. Uh, I'm not gonna hurt for it. I'm not gonna hurt for it. Uh, at all. But yeah, let's see. What else is going on in the world? Not too much. I still do my 12-step meetings. I was at a 12-step earlier. Came home, uh, checked stuff out, looked in on the plant. Plant's looking okay. Uh, and then decided to take a walk downtown. And that's the simplicity of my life right now, is that when things are calm, I use it as a place to I use it as a place to spiritually recollect and spiritually gather, because a wise man once said, this too shall pass. There's always going to be a time when I'm going to be uh, called upon to be of support, moral support, basically. And you can't do that if you're spiritually or emotionally depleted. One thing, though, I do walk around a lot, especially I try to do in the evening where it's a little cooler, but I do walk. I don't mind when I do that I do work up a sweat like this, but I gotta say, it's murder on the skin, though. like if you sweat a lot and stuff like that, you don't always have great skin, you know. But I do try to take care of my skin. I do mask, I do all that kind of stuff, you know. But yeah, I hate to think what it would look like without without some sort of regimen for my skincare. And then what do I do? Because it's important. The first thing you got to do is you've got to wash the face. You know what I mean? So that always wash your skin, keep the face. But then because that dries out, you got to moisturize, and then you have to uh, keep your you want to pay attention to uh, the pH of your skin, you know, especially on your face and stuff like that. Because you know, sometimes when I get busy and I get overly sweaty or whatever, um, uh, I will get sweaty, and I will break out. And oh my god, and I'm just like everybody else. I've got my vanity and my points of vanity, and I want to look as best as I can, especially because I make little videos and stuff like that, and people see my face sometimes. Okay, so what else? What else? Oh, you know, when I do get home, I'm gonna go into not. I'm not gonna go straight to my apartment. I'm actually gonna take this walk. It's down by the riverfront. Then I'm gonna walk to the other side of downtown, after having been out for a while and sweated. But before I go directly into my apartment, I'm gonna go into the fitness center in my building, which is kind of like a small gym, and I do dumbbell curls. And uh, right now, I'm doing heavier weight with fewer reps. Uh, Sometimes when I feel like I need to slim down, I'll actually do like a lot of uh, reps with a lower weight. And I don't worry about sets or counting it. Yeah, I just kind of like, until I just don't, you know, feel like doing it anymore. You know. But when I do heavy, it's like okay, that's when I'm trying to increase and get a little bit of mass. I also read, and I think this is cool. I think it was like one of the movie producers or whatever, one of the movie fitness people. What they said was when they work out their people, they try to engage their core at the beginning of the workout, just a little bit. Then those muscles are stimulated. That's the chest and the stomach and the abs and stuff. You know, then those muscles are stimulated throughout the rest of the workout, and then so it continues to get some benefit even when you're working on other muscle groups or whatever. And I just do light workouts. I don't do anything heavy or strenuous or anything like that. I really don't. My goal is to get to a weight that's maybe around 145-ish. That would be great, give or take, you know. That's the sweet spot for me. Sometimes I get there or you know, and then but staying there. That's the trick. Like, ooh, I have to resist that. Ooh, I can relax now, you know, because I'm at a it's easier for me to put on weight than it is to take it off. And that's true for everybody. But as we get older, our metabolisms change. And so, yeah. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to go. As a matter of fact, I'm fixing to head back now. I'm going to go back, do a little bit of one or two things for my stomach, just a little bit of something just to get that kind of maybe some resistance training for the stomach, just enough to get it going. And then I'll do some dumbbell curls, and then with the same dumbbell, I'll do some shoulder shrugs. Because I want to get a little of this going on, which is fine. I don't have, uh, some people have that big bam bulky thing. I don't want that. And when thinking of yourself and any sort of fitness that you want to do, you want to consider the type of physicality that you have. If you're a larger guy that holds muscle a lot easier than some other people, that's really, really great. But if you're not, then there's like a medium kind of a way there where it's kind of, that's fine. There are those people that really just do not bulk up, the average person that does not bulk up. And then there are people like me, and I'm about 5'8", 5'8"-ish. And typically it doesn't take that much to push me over the edge of being a little bit like if I'm beyond the weight that I should be, I don't have much of a margin, not anymore. That like if I had the little bit of overweightness can kick me into active type 2 diabetes, and that kind of spurred my wanting to be a little bit more healthy anyway. I'm not an expert or anything like that. It's just more like, hey, let me try to keep the A1C down, So a healthy diet, and then staying in motion. Even when I'm sitting at home, I fidget. So, and I don't mean like with the fidget spinner. I mean like I'm whatever. If I'm listening to music and if I want to tap my foot, I tap my foot. Okay, so pretty soon, we've already seen the bridge anyway, but as we may see it in the background behind me, especially if I actually find a spot and talk right in front of it, it makes a hellacious backdrop, this bridge. I love it. Okay, so where am I going? Right, y'all. Oh, but no, let me find a place where there's light. Okay. This is okay, just spooky and ghostly enough. Aha. No. This'll work. I'll turn this way. Yeah, and I have a good side. I have a side that shows in this kind of thing fewer lines on my face. As we get older, we want to show fewer lines. Okay, so I don't know, guys. If you have some things that you do in your life as far as being physical, getting out, getting active, some things that you love, things that help you maintain, help you stay healthy. There's a few of you. Why not just leave a tip in the comments and say, hey, this is one little thing that I like to do. Like for somebody, it may be like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna reduce the portion of food on my plate just by a couple of spoonfuls, maybe. I'll reduce that. Or maybe someone can be like, instead of eating 2 or 3 meals a day, I'm going to eat smaller portions in a little bit more frequently throughout the increments, of the day. So maybe like instead of 3 meals a day, I'll have 5 meals a day, of small bits, because that way you're more efficient with burning. Or what else? That's on the diet kind of stuff, But also, what can we do physical? If you have any kind of physical tips, like, you know what? I'm gonna lay down and do leg raises. That's where you like lay prone on your back and then you like lift your legs, keeping them stiff, probably about approximately 5 to 6 inches from the floor, but just enough where you feel it. And then what you do is you hold that position for as long as you can. And the longer you can hold it, the better. And that works your core, that works your feet, that works your legs, that works everything. Getting outside, I will sweat in Shreveport, Louisiana, really just coming outside in the summertime, you know. But so it's a good time uh, uh, towards the beginning of summer and towards uh, the end of summer. We kind of maybe like have a few more weeks of this heat left. Uh, but it's not so hot that it's like, oh my God, I'll die from a heat stroke or something. I avoid going out when there's like heat advisories if I don't have to, but here we go. Yay. I like the backdrop, but I also like being lit. Here we go. Here's some light. Okay. So, yeah, what's like I said, what can we do? Uh, well, when I do go out and I do want to walk around and stuff, I want to do it at night, in the evening where it's a little bit cooler, and let's find a good. Like I said, I'm a vain dude. I'm so vain, but you know, there's a trash can right beside me. So how vain? Uh, I'm so vain that now that I'm aware there's a trash can, I'm gonna move to the other side. Okay, whatever. I'm so vain that I think this song is about me. Um, yeah. Okay, tips. Yeah, please leave some tips. If it helps you, chances are it might help me, you know. I've been doing this for a while, and at this point, it's not even about the particular mechanism of the content of the tip. It's just the fact that, hey, there's a lot of us and we want to live healthier lives. And if we can provide that sort of encouragement, that's kind of cool. So, yeah. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and head home now. And I'll pause the video or something. And maybe when I get in, I'll do some work in the gym before I go up to the apartment. So we'll see what's up. Oh, by the way, if I'm walking around making a video, I get, you know, preoccupied with the video itself, and I end up walking a little bit longer and a little bit more, you know, passing the time, you know, and so that's cool. So the videos really do help me maintain healthier habits. Well, you guys know this spot. I've been at this intersection before. The foot of the bridge, the neon is not a neon bridge anymore. It's an LED lit bridge. That I was just at. So this is the foot of it on the Shreveport side, and I want to cross, but I don't want to get hit. So I will wait for the light. I'm sweaty. This is fine. I don't mind this, and I don't mind being out walking around the neighborhood, but I don't like being in close proximity to people after I've been sweating, and I don't like going from a workout or something into a place of business, or you know, even for dinner, for lunch or something like that. I can't do that. First I will make sure that I am freshly showered before I go anywhere where I feel like I'm going to be around people, you know, as a courtesy to other people, not for vanity, but as a courtesy for the other people. And I think more people should do that if they can. Okay, I just needed to pass time at that light. Oh, and I wanted to keep the video kind of fresh and going. It'll time out once in a while if I don't pop in, say something. So I'll say, as I'm thinking about it, that, you know, this morning I went to the farmer's market, and I walked from my apartment to the farmer's market, which is right down there, and maybe just back another block or so. And then I did some walking around, browsing and stuff like that. So I did that, and then of course I'm out here walking this evening. Uh, so I walk throughout the day. Uh, I did whatever. I have to go to the store or something like that. I walk because everything's downtown, uh, and then that helps. So um, if you can multi-purpose, like if you have in your vicinity like a little neighborhood dollar store or something like that, one of the things that you can think about is maybe taking a walk a few blocks to and from the store instead of always getting in the car, and that will help uh, conserve fuel from the economy and stuff like that. If we can reduce, I don't know, if we take a little better care of ourselves and walk a little bit when we can, uh, and if we don't, like I say, take a car every time we have to go just 3 or 4 blocks, if we can possibly walk that short distance and back or whatever, then think of if everybody that could do that would do that. Think of how much fuel could be saved economically, personally, for the person who has to do that, but then also how much better it could be, just a little bit, for the earth in general. I don't know. Or if you can, get a bike and bike it with the basket or something. This is one of my favorite spots downtown, uh, the Noble Savage. And it's not the same owners that had it when it was in the 80s and 90s or whatever. She's got a live band in there. She's doing Four Non Blondes, what's going on. But it was more up tempo or whatever. But anyway, I will tell you that they have a really great lunch. And it's the same menu, like lunch and dinner and stuff like that. It's really good. Now, I'm keto dieting and everything, so it's not on my diet right now, but they really do have a great fish and chips. If I go into a pub or something like that, I'm going to have a unsweet tea probably, because I don't like Coke Zero out of a fountain. I like Coke Zero out of a bottle or a can, but I don't really trust diet sodas with the fountain drink. So I get an unsweet tea with the lemon, and oh wow, do they have a really great fish and chips. So they get my fish and chips business locally. Hey, so actually we're coming up on one of my favorite little sections. It's not this building, but it's the one right after it. We're walking by the Southern University Annex downtown. That's great. Actually, if you're here, if you live down here, there's a dental program, and if you don't have insurance and if you don't have money or whatever, you can go there and say for like 20 bucks, they'll scale your teeth, they'll clean them and everything. I didn't do that. I have a insurance. But yeah, this is, check this out. Okay, so this, I'm so happy about this, and this newness will actually begin this coming Saturday. But this is Refined Design, Decor, Boutiques, and More. It's kind of a co-op. It's a co-op that has one counter. So you can go to all the different vendors in here and then check out at one counter. So that's kind of cool. Whereas some co-ops, they do their own money or whatever. Okay, I love it. All that, I've made some videos of these pewter tableware, plates, bowls, things like that I bought. Sucking it up. Got to remember to keep the stomach tight as I'm talking and walking. So that's kind of cool. And some great soaps and everything. And that's it. But newly, with the noon about it, what's new is this is appliques, embroidery, and gifts. Now, they used to be under the bridge. And then they moved to where this pink sign is, right behind Rhino Coffee Shop on Texas Street. and they were there. They've been there for quite a while, actually. They're one of my favorite places, and I felt a little guilty if I go in there and I buy from redesigned. Then I felt like I was cheating on my people at Appliques, which I go in there and I get small gifts or whatever. When I have, birthdays or whatever, I usually get gifts from there. Uh, Christmas, whatever. Um, but now they're going to be occupying the same space. And so to support one of them is going to be supporting another. And I also saw that they're going to have Bluebell ice cream, which I can't have all the time, but sometimes I can. So that's cool. So I'll be able to dip some Bluebell. And who doesn't love Bluebell? I would rather spend the money on that, say, than there's a great donut shop called Drips Donuts. They don't have the widest variety in the world, but they do have some of the most eccentric varieties of donuts and things like that. So that's kind of cool. But I like to reserve my indulgence of that for when I'm at an event where there's music or, an art fair or the state fair that's coming up in November or something like that. I just wanted to talk about that because I needed to talk on something in the video. Oh, and look, I'm almost to the end of Texas Street, and then from there, I'm not that far from my apartment. You see, so this is the corner of the property of the church at Texas Street Church, and then right behind me at the end of this block is I don't know what they're calling it now, but it used to be Millennium Studios, and right behind that, right up here, that is that's my apartment complex. So it's actually one block over, and the first part of it that they actually haven't built yet, or they've built it, but they're still finishing it. I heard a dog, so I'm gonna take the long way in case there's a stray dog out or something. What I'm gonna do is, I'll go this way. But see, they haven't this first part. They haven't quite put people in them yet, but they're right around the corner from it. So that's kind of cool. And this is it's part of a Volunteers of America, one of their buildings. So that's kind of cool. Actually, I went there for when they were starting to, select people who was going to be able to move in. The first round of people who were going to be able to move in. I don't know if I made the first cut. There were 4 buildings, and when they started moving people into them, it was a few months before I got moved in. And I think the first 2 buildings got built first, and then they were finishing up on the second 2 buildings. But so I didn't know what was going on. I thought I missed out on it. So I actually had started, okay, I can relax while I'll just start loosening up on my budget, and I can spend some of the money that I've saved for moving expenses, because obviously maybe I'm not going to be able to move, or whatever. And as soon as I started to do that, then I got the notification, hey, by the way, you did get selected. It's just that the first 2 buildings were ready first, and then the second 2 buildings. And so those are the, whatever. If you've been with me on that journey since the beginning of my YouTube, you already know that. If you're interested in being bored, go back and watch that. I was doing a lot of walking around at night then too, but it was a lot of walking around in front of this complex praying that I could get selected. So miracles do happen, dreams do come true, and prayers get answered. Even if there is a lesson of acceptance that goes with it. Okay, but it's going to be cool. The first floor of it is going to be they're going to be opening for businesses. So my apartment, I guess I'm going to have to come up here and walk around. The road is closed because they're doing, they're having to do under the ground construction of water work and all this kind of good stuff too for the pipes for the building and stuff for the new one. I guess I'm assuming, but I do have to go under these. Please don't let a sinkhole swallow me up. Okay. Yeah, no, they're just doing some work. Okay, stick with me for a second. When you do walk, have shoes with good traction. So it would be like, here we go. I'm not really. I'm running up that hill. But right behind me, there's a hill that I had to come up. It's almost a full story above the street from top to bottom, I guess. I don't know. Uh, I've lived in houses that had like a shorter distance from floor to ceiling than the top of the hill. So that's the building that they moved people in, and I thought I missed out. But then they have this building, and then there's one directly across. Like there's two and two. Okay, I forgot to do the video. I'm so sorry. I went in to the gym, did some shoulder shrugs, some arms and stuff, and let's see. And then, yeah, that's cool. It was a light workout. I didn't do anything real heavy, but I'm a little bit quieter now because I'm walking through my apartment, and I want to be a conscientious neighbor. But gotta get up these stairs. Now I have cut stair climbers out of my workout routine because of this. I've literally jogged up one flight of stairs. Jogging up another one. So, people are like, how can you live on the third floor? It's like, well, you know, I used to live at the Fairmont in town. And what happened there was the elevator was constantly breaking down. So I was constantly walking from the 8th floor down the stairwells. So, and going up them also. So, okay, cool. I can relax now. What I'll probably do is do some light cool down on the floor. Maybe lay down a little bit on a floor and just kind of do some light rotations and stretches so that for a cool down after a walk that I've done, and then running up the hill and the stairs and everything. So, okay. And I love my colored lamps, my LED lamps. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say I love you, peace, good night, and love and light, as always.